Welcome to Crime Talk, where today's narrative shifts away from war but focuses on a soldier, Hiroo Onoda, whose unwavering loyalty and bravery were unshakable. Hiroo Onoda, a Japanese citizen, enlisted in the Imperial Army in his early 20s, quickly rose to the rank of intelligence officer, and for Onoda, his superiors' orders were his guiding principles. He made a solemn vow to never back down from those orders, no matter the circumstances. In the chaos of World War, Onoda made a fateful mistake. He continued to fight for an astonishing 29 years, completely oblivious to the fact that the war had ended. He wore his uniform, unaware that his own country's cities, Nagasaki and Hiroshima, had been decimated by atomic bombs. The shock and disbelief he experienced upon discovering the truth after nearly 3 decades must have been unimaginable. During World War I, soldiers underwent grueling training, preparing them for the harsh realities of war. On December 26, 1944, Onoda and his comrades were deployed to Lubang, an island in the Philippines, where their mission was to fight the U.S. Army. Their commander delivered a stern order: no matter what happens, you will not surrender. This order became the cornerstone of Onoda's unyielding determination in the face of adversity. As the U.S. Army entered the Philippines, a fierce battle raged on for several days. The Japanese forces, unable to surrender, split into 4 groups to preserve their lives and continue the fight. Onoda's group, in the dense jungles of Lubang, embodied the spirit of their initial order. They believed, wrongly, that the war was still ongoing. In 1945, the world witnessed the devastating power of the atomic bomb, leading to Japan's surrender and the end of World War VIII. However, deep in the Philippine jungles, Onoda and his comrades continued to fight, completely unaware of the world events unfolding around them. They believed that when the war ended, their fellow Japanese soldiers would come to their rescue. Under this misconception, they persisted in their silent battle, clad in their uniforms, isolated from the world. From 1944 to 1949, Onoda survived in the jungle, isolated from the world and unaware of its happenings. Survival was a daily struggle as he relied on wild bananas, coconut water, and hunting for sustenance. He lost friends and encountered hostile villagers, leading to tragic confrontations. Efforts were made by the Philippine government to persuade Onoda and his group to surrender. They used speakers to announce the war's end and urged soldiers to lay down their arms. However, Onoda remained skeptical, viewing these announcements as enemy traps. Onoda did receive messages from his family, urging him to surrender, but he believed them to be tricks. Even when his sister sent a message informing him of the war's end, he remained steadfast in his belief that the war was ongoing. His name was misspelled in the message, further fueling his suspicion. Despite countless attempts to persuade him, Onoda continued to evade capture. He was resolute, unyielding in his belief that the war had not ended. Tragically, during a raid on a villager was shot and did not survive. In 1974, a Japanese student on a world tour heard of Onoda's incredible story and embarked on a mission to find him. In the jungles of the Philippines, he finally located Onoda. The student, bearing pictures of the war's aftermath, implored Onoda to surrender. However, Onoda's dedication remained unshaken, and he refused to accept the truth. Upon Onoda's return to Japan, he sought out his former superiors and Major Yoshimi Taniguchi, the man who had given him his orders. Major Taniguchi traveled to the Philippines to personally deliver the news of Japan's surrender, finally ending Onoda's long wait. Onoda was shocked by the revelation that the war had ended 28 years ago. He had never been informed due to the lack of communication in the jungle. The confusion stemmed from an Air Force base in the Philippines, which had become a training ground, further convincing Onoda of ongoing battles. When he finally accepted the truth, Onoda was overwhelmed with emotion and regret. he reflected on his actions, realizing the futility of his 30-year battle. He lamented, "I was shining my rifle for 30 years every day. For what? I now curse myself. For 30 years I thought I was doing something for the country, but now it seems that I am causing trouble for many people." On December 26, 1944, Onoda finally surrendered to Ferdinand Marcos, the president of the Philippines. Armed with a rifle, hand grenades, and a samurai sword, he presented himself dressed in the same uniform he had worn for 30 years, a symbol of his enduring duty. It was discovered that he had killed approximately 30 civilians during food raids leading to violent confrontations. However, President Marcos refrained from pressing criminal charges, recognizing Onoda as a soldier who had been unaware that the war had ended, still dutifully serving his country. For 30 years, Onoda served his country, surviving in the jungle on what he could find. He returned to Japan at the age of 51, hailed as a hero, with his story captivating the nation. He received his 30-year salary from the Japanese government, along with additional rewards and respect. Yet, Onoda was not just a soldier. He was a man of generosity. He donated a significant portion of his money to the villages near Lubang, where he had hidden for 3 decades. Onoda's story is a testament to the power of loyalty, survival, and generosity. He left Japan and settled in Brazil, immersing himself in a Japanese community and marrying a woman who introduced him to the new Japan. Shocked by a news story about a 13-year-old boy killing another child in Japan, Onoda felt a duty to return and guide the new generation. Back in Japan, Onoda dedicated himself to teaching children, imparting wisdom and lessons from his extraordinary experiences. In 1996, he returned to Lubang, where he had caused much harm during the war, and apologized to the villagers, seeking forgiveness. Onoda received several honors and awards, including the Merit Medal of Santos, Dumont from Brazilian Air Force, and the title of Cidadão, citizen, from the Legislative Assembly of Mato Grosso do Sul. Sadly, Onoda passed away on January 16, 2014, due to complications from pneumonia at St. Luke's International Hospital in Tokyo. His story is one of change, adaptation, and redemption. A soldier unyielding in his beliefs, yet willing to learn and grow with the times. Hiroo Onoda's legacy continues to inspire generations, a symbol of enduring loyalty, resilience, and the indomitable human spirit.